Ladies and gentlemen, HEX community of all ages, hey, Jake Freedom here, coming to you live from YouTube for this week's HEX Update Saturday for November 8th, 2014. Now, we didn't have a whole lot happen this week. We had a little small patch rollout. We had an interview with, or question and answer with Christie Golden, and we had some questions and answer with Cory Jones, and we had an announcement for anybody who signed into the game prior to the open/public beta gets a couple free alternate art cards. So we're going to go over that stuff here today, and it should be a pretty quick update. Like I said, not a lot has actually happened there. So first, we'll go ahead and start with the baby Yeti alternate art closed beta reward. And basically, what it is, if you haven't seen him before, in the alpha stage, he had a different art, and then they changed it. I'm not exactly sure when they actually changed it here. When was that? I would try to say like 6 months ago, maybe. I could be wrong. But he has a different art, and let's go ahead and I can show him to you. Some of you guys may or may not be familiar with what he looks like. So let's just go ahead and pull him up here real quick. So this is what he used to look like, which I'm a really big fan of. I think it's kind of cool. And then they switched it to him here. I'm not a big fan of the new art. I really do like the old art, so I'm kind of excited that we actually get this guy back into our hand, or into our collection here anyway. So it's kind of cool. So the way that works is if you signed into the game before it actually went public beta, you will actually get 2 of these cards put into your card manager when the next feature patch comes out, and that's going to be slated for some time in the future, obviously. A lot of people thought that it was going to come out like that very same day when Cory announced it, or with the next patch, and then somewhere, I don't know exactly where I read it, they said that it'll come out with the next feature patch. So that'll be really kind of cool. Nice reward for anybody who actually, you know, logged in during the closed beta and stuff like that. So that's really cool that they're actually going to do that there. The next one here is just they did the patch. They were going to do the patch. They were going to patch. They weren't going to patch. They were going to patch, and they pulled the post, and they weren't going to patch. It was kind of a back and forth deal when they were going to patch this week here, and they ended up actually doing it on the 6th. And basically, the patch notes read like this: the issues where the pass priority button did not appear for some users in certain circumstances has been resolved. That's all we have for patch notes. So, not a whole lot for a patch there. So that wasn't too exciting there. I did go over the interview with Christie Golden. She is the one who's writing the HEX book called The Accidental Knight. And if you haven't read this little article here, I highly suggest you do it. It's kind of fun. It's kind of cool. I'll go ahead and link that in the description down below here so you guys can check that out if you haven't already. They just they just go back and forth here. They're asking her questions of things that she's done, how fun it's been writing the book, what's her favorite race, and whatnot. So it's really cool. They also talk about how she got her start, which is kind of neat, some of the other stuff that she's done. And towards the end here, she's talking about that she had to go to BlizzCon this week. And I don't know if any of you guys are Blizzard fans or not, but BlizzCon is actually happening right now. I play a few Blizzard games. We're not going to go into whole detail on which ones I play, but you know, that's I like to watch BlizzCon, so I have the virtual ticket. So I watched that last night. I'm a huge fan of StarCraft 2, that is, and I don't play it. I rarely play it, but I love watching it. I don't know why. It's really interesting to watch that game. I don't know. So basically that's all I do is watch StarCraft 2 when the BlizzCon's actually going on. I don't watch tournaments throughout the year or anything like that, unless, you know, I happen to catch one here or there. But yeah, StarCraft is probably one of my most favorite games to actually watch that I am horrible at. So just a little insight there. Anyway, back to the update here. So yeah, highly suggest you guys go ahead and check out this article here. That's all about Christie Golden. It's really cool, really informative there, and I'm really excited for the book. Unfortunately, you know, they're not actually going to print this book. It's just going to be digital. So anybody who signed up, like for the Kickstarter Slacker backers, will get a copy in the digital format of the Accidental Knight. Really kind of excited to read it. Should be interesting. You know, I'm not a huge lore person. You know, I don't know anything about Entrath or the lore behind the Coyotals, the Shinahair, or anything like that, but, you know, this book looks like it's going to be a pretty good read there, so. Next thing they do, they have a HEX update Q&A, and this reads, two Q&A headlines this week. Update. Hey Hexers, it's time for the Friday update. We've patched this week to solve the mystery of the disappearing past priority bar. It looks like our super sleuth engineers found the problem and successfully fixed the bug. We will continue to monitor the player experience and fixes we've implemented. Also reads here, our engineering teams continue to test through the Shattered Destiny bug list for our ongoing long-term project. They are working at improving the tournament system backend. R&D and lore teams combined to develop the thematic for set 3 of HEX Shards of Fate and make sure the card designs mesh well with the flavor of the actual set. The art department is busy ordering set 3 art and completing the first order of our arena reward cards. UI UX is continuing to refine the interface and look at player feedback from the patch King Gabriel. UI UX, what does that mean? User interface, user experience? Is that what that stands for? I don't know, I've never actually seen it put that way. So yeah, they're continuing monitoring that. Community brought on another noble to help. The community brought on another noble to help players with in-game questions and feedback, and the daily streaming program has been very successful in bringing the community together for their favorite players. For players who enjoy HEX but love to play in their local language, HEX will soon be available in Spanish, Italian, Polish, and Turkish to support our existing English, German, and French releases. So a big thank goes out to GameForge for that, for making that happen there. Let's see what else they got here. HEX in usgamer.net. If you don't follow the message boards a whole lot, there was an article or some write-up in US Gamer that talked about HEX. I did not get a chance to actually read that. If some of you have missed out on that, I'll go ahead and link that in the description as well. If you want to go ahead and check that out. Let me know what it says. I don't know. I didn't have time to actually go look. I just kind of read some of the posts there and whatnot. Then on the bottom here, they gave Cory the mic. First of all, let's back up 1 second there. Cory held a Q&A. Some of you may or may not know that on the actual forums that you can ask Cory questions and he would respond to them. It's a huge long thread. And if you don't want to actually read all that and go through it, Hex Primal published a great summary of it. It actually is kind of cool. It just kind of lists all the things that breaks them down by category. I'll go ahead and link that to in the description, and you guys can go ahead and check that out. Some of it's kind of interesting. Some of it's like, yeah, we kind of knew that, but so I'll go ahead and link that so you guys can check that out too. Then at the bottom here, they give Cory the mic, and he says, "Hey, Cory here. We have highlighted a few Kickstarters in the Friday update. Usually when we know the developer and really believe in what they are trying to do, we'll help get the word out." As you can imagine, we take Kickstarter seriously because this is how HEX actually got started, was through Kickstarter, and we don't want to push something that has a high degree of risk. All that said, I really like the concept of Epic Manager. This is a Kickstarter funding program. I'll go ahead and link this too. He goes on to say, I think it's a super interesting and could be a fun little game, but I want to be clear, I don't know this developer. They seem like a good bunch of people, viewed as an outsider, and I hope they get the funding they need. So I kind of clicked on that, and it's Epic Manager. It's about being an RPG tycoon or something along those lines. You guys can go and check that out there. All they're asking for is like 30 grand. I think they're up to like $16,000 or something like that. I don't know. I've never actually backed a Kickstarter other than this game here. This is the very first one I've ever done, so could be something maybe to look into, could maybe not. I don't know. On a side note, that's all the updates I've got from the forums there. On a side note, the tournament. The tournament's coming along well. We got 18 people signed up right now, and I originally linked the post on the forums in the HEX fan site news just because I felt that's where it should go. Well then, through some discussion on that actual thread there, somebody mentioned maybe, you should probably put it in the general forum. I was like, okay. So I quickly put it in the general forum, just put the title as the same, and then in the actual thread, the actual body of the actual thread, I put a link back to the fan site. And that stayed there for, I don't know, an hour. And then it was removed completely. I never got any notification that it was removed, and I was really confused. I'm like, okay. I had one of my threads removed once before for promoting, YouTube, my YouTube channel, external website that I had going on, but that was in the new player area. So I completely understood that. I didn't quite understand this one. So I emailed one of the mods and I said, hey, what's going on here? And she basically said, any type of cross-linking threads or promotion of, any external websites. It's in the code of conduct. I read it a little bit. Is against, you know, against the code of conduct. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. What about all the other tournaments that are, you know, listed in the general forums as well? You know, those were there. I didn't quite understand that. And before I could even send that message back, you know, the person who I was talking to had removed that as well. So it's kind of crappy, I guess I should say, for lack of a better word. That because not a lot of people go into the fan site news sub forum. A lot of people stay in the general, and a lot of times in the past, tournaments have been announced in the general forums, and they have not been removed. So I was just trying to give this one a little more exposure, and I was unable to actually do that. There's a couple other tournaments, like the Rock League, that's fine, because that's not promoting anything that's outside of the actual forum. That's all taken care of there. There's another tournament that stayed up there for, I don't know how long it was at least a week, you know, before it was moved. You know, mine made it an hour. So it was kind of frustrating. I won't say I was mad. I was just like, okay, look, you know, if that's what's going to happen, let's be fair across all the whole spectrum here. You know, let's not play favors or anything like that. So I was just a little irritated at that. But so I just, you know, for people that don't go into the other sub forums, it's really hard to kind of get a message out there to say, hey, you know, go look at this. You know, even though I know you don't visit that. So what do you do? But from that, we got a couple, you know, while it was up, a few people did sign up, and one of them actually said, you know, I don't ever go into those other sub forums. I didn't know anything about this. Well, unfortunately, we can't post in that forum there to announce tournaments that link to other websites, I guess. So no big deal. So like I said, we got 18 people signed up so far. That tournament, the sign up will be locked tonight at 11:59 Central Time, and the tournament will actually begin at 12 a.m. Sunday morning on the 10th, November 10th, 12 a.m. So sometime after the closing of the sign up, and before the tournament starts, I'll go ahead and release the pairings and announce that, you know, somehow get put on the thread, or, you know, when you come back to the actual site here, I'll have a link to, you know, view the pairings or whatever. I'll somehow let you know one way or the other. All right, I think that's about my only rant I had there, was just that forum thing. So let's go ahead and get to see what we have for winners this week. Let's just go ahead. I got the list put in there. We'll just go ahead and randomize the list here, and then we'll take a look, see who the top 5 are. A lot of people didn't want a whole lot of cards. The Crash of Beasts obviously was number 1. So after the list has been randomized, number 1 is Amenan. Number 2 is Rajinsu. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Rajinsu, number 2. 3 is Killer Raider. 4 is Zubli. And 5 is Habenjin. So congratulations to you guys. You will get your picks in the order that you can. Obviously, Amenan, I think he won a Crash of Beasts just like everybody else did. So congratulations there. I'll get those cards sent out to you as soon as this video is done. Well, other than that, let's get on to the actual opening of this week's pack and see what we can come up with here. Alright, okay, so here we go, crack it open. You know, I've probably opened a few packs, I don't know, 10, 15 packs. I haven't got a legendary in a long time. Ah, speaking of legendary, look at that, we got one there. As I say, I haven't got a legendary in a long time. That's pretty cool. Alright, so cards this week for commons are going to be Peak, Saper's Charge, or Sapper's Charge, however you want to say it, Guard Dog, Mortar Strike, Dark Spire Enforcer, Protectorate Sorcerer, Vine Trap, Misfortune, Soothing Breeze, Wrath Seeker, Heavy Welding Bot, and for the uncommons we have Demolition, why I couldn't say that, Nibbling Hunting Pack, and Stone Skin. And for our legendary, it's going to be Vampire King. Look at that, that's awesome. Vampire King. Obviously, probably one of the most popular cards, is the most popular card next to Angel of Dawn in the actual game. So, Vampire King, 4 cost, 2 threshold. He's a troop vampire. He's got life drain and flight. And his card text reads, when this troop deals damage to an opposing champion, reveal a random card from their hand. If it's a troop, transform it into a vampire and put it into play under your control. What are vampires? Vampires are, come on, I can't click it. I can't click vampire. Why not? That's weird. No, we should be able to click vampire. Pull up what a vampire is. Well, if you don't know what a vampire is, well, I'll show you here in the card manager. and we'll see what a vampire actually is. I can't remember what he is. I think he's a 3/3, but I could be wrong. Let's take a look here. Vamp, not vamp. No, vamp. All right, Vampire King. So a vampire. This is not working out at all, is it? Something is not working with the game. So I can't pull up what a vampire is. Oh well. Maybe if you guys have a vampire, look it up. I don't know. My game is not functioning well at all. So maybe somebody can, I just forget what he is, so if somebody can maybe post in the comments there and tell, let people know what the actual is. Not that it matters. I mean, it's still Vampire King that we're going to be giving away. So that's awesome. Very cool. Other than that, so yes, go ahead and let me know what your top 5 picks are. Obviously, Vampire King is probably going to be everybody's top #1 pick there, so good luck on that. If you want to let me know something about the video other than your top 5 picks, go ahead and leave a comment down below. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of these videos, be sure to click that subscribe button down below, and we'll have another video for you soon.